Hi, and welcome to our All-Star Academics webinar. We're really excited for you to be here tonight. I'm Ashley Weehee. I am our communications manager here at Concordia Lutheran High School, and we have a great group of people here tonight to tell you all about the great academics that we have at Concordia. So how tonight works is that we have a chance for you to ask questions live through our Q&A box or through our chat box that we're able to answer following hearing from our great teachers and our great principal, Pat Firking. And then if you are watching this as a recording, you can always reach out to info@clhscadets.com to be able to ask questions of our team, or feel free to call into the high school. We always want to hear from you, answer any questions that you have about the admissions process or any of these subjects that we're covering in our webinar series. So we're going to kick this off. We have a great talk to show you from our principal, Patrick Firking, and three of our teachers. Stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Pat Firking. I'm principal here at Concordia Lutheran High School. And today I want to share a little bit about our academic program and the breadth and the diversity of our academic program. Our curriculum is robust, it's challenging. A large number of our students do go on to university, and so we have a very solid college prep program. But we also have a variety of academics and academic support to help students, irregardless if they're headed off to X, Y, or Z university, or if God's got other plans for them following their high school graduation. We want to share a little bit about some of those programs that we offer. Mrs. Crystal Castleman, who's our science department chair, is going to share a little bit of our science classes. Miss Luann Erdos, who teaches business and operates our internship program, as well as coordinates our Honors Academy, is going to share some of the excitement and some of the exciting programs that come from those areas. And then Mrs. Sherrod, who is the director of our study center, will share some of the learning and academic support that our students have available to them here at Concordia. So now let's meet our teachers and hear more about these exciting programs that we have here at Concordia. Hello, I'm with Miss Luann Erdos, who teaches business classes, oversees our internship program here at Concordia Lutheran High School, and is also coordinator for our Honors Academy. So, hello.
Hello,
nice
Pat.
to have you here with us for a little bit. Can you please share a little bit about the classes that you teach and the internship program here at Concordia?
Sure I can. This is my 10th year here at Concordia, Pat, as you know, and you know part of that. But I've been teaching business management and accounting and also marketing classes. Those are the traditional classes that I teach, but I also oversee the career internship program for seniors. And in addition to that, I direct the Honors Academy program, and I serve as advisor for Deca.
Yeah, you are very busy. We are very blessed. What is the internship program?
Sure. Well, as I mentioned, it is exclusively for seniors, and it's an opportunity for students to experience professional careers that they otherwise wouldn't have any opportunity or very little opportunity to experience on their own. For example, like a student who thinks that they're interested in the field of veterinarian science. What is it like to be a vet? Day in, day out. They actually get to go out into the field. A veterinarian person would serve as their mentor, and they would be serving as internship time 5 to 6 hours a week, experiencing that field firsthand.
So is this during the school day or on weekends, in the evenings?
Great question. It is during the school day, and actually it counts as basically 2 blocks out of their school day. So they either go out in the morning or they go out in the afternoon and spend their time with their mentor and see all sorts of things. We've had students at the various hospitals here in Fort Wayne, Parkview Medical Center, Lutheran Hospital. We've had students doing an internship even at a car mechanic shop. We've just had a whole plethora of places that the students serve. And it's a great way for the mentors in our community, the professional people in our community, to showcase their passion and their love for their careers.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You also teach business classes. What business classes are we offering here at Concordia? And then following high school, how do students use those classes maybe towards university or directly into the career fields?
So I teach business management, marketing, and accounting. And students who come to me are typically, as I always ask them, why did you end up in this elective? Because we have so many rich elective opportunities in our school. And the answer comes back is that they're thinking of maybe starting their own business. They feel that business is going to be a part of their life somehow, some way. So they might as well start learning some of the basic vocabulary. Or they themselves have business-oriented parents and they're intrigued by what they do. So it's a variety of reasons of how the students come to me. Some of them already have their eye on the prize, like I want to go to the IU Kelly School of Business, what have you. But they are able to achieve a basic curriculum in these subject matters. And we definitely focus on beginning business vocabulary. And it's a nice offshoot for them to go to the university or PFW, wherever it is they're heading off to. But I've also had some students who have actually gone into the entrepreneurial world and wanted to leave high school. Some of them actually even have their own startup businesses while they're here at school. So it's just a wonderful way to embrace them and to further their passion for business.
And kind of connected but separate from the business classes is the Deca Student Club, an organization which you are the sponsor for. What is Deca?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's an interesting club because Deca stands for Distributive Education Clubs of America. And to the common person, and I would imagine you yourself, that tells you absolutely nothing. And so let me explain, because Deca has been around since the 1940s, and it is a national club for students who have interest in business. And they actually get as specific to say students who are interested in marketing or hospitality, management, or finance. But there's ways that you can compete in Deca, and here at the Concordia chapter, the students really get into competitions. We compete at the local level through our district. We then, many of us, move on to the state competition because we've earned the right. And then there's an international competition. So technically, Deca is international. And so, for example, we were at the international competition last year in Atlanta, Georgia. There were 24,000 students from all over, all speaking English. One has to have the command of the English language. But the competitions are many and varied. There's a stock market challenge. There's individual role plays where the students actually take a written exam, 100 questions that tests them on their overall knowledge and vocabulary of business. And then they go into a specific type of an event of their choosing, which could be as diverse as apparel and accessories to retail merchandising to full-serve restaurant, automotive services. I can go on and on and on. And they actually have role plays than they do with a judge. So potentially I could be the student involved, you would be the judge. We would both have a role play. You would have prepared as the judge, I would have prepared as the student. And so you might be my manager and I might be a new trainee. You might be asking me to solve a problem that's going on or how I could better the training program for future trainees. But it's really real world. And what I love the most and have the most respect for Deca is that they're current. They stay current each year with the role plays.
Thank you.
Yeah, and in addition to that, we do community service projects, our chapter. There's opportunities for leadership as the students go through our programming. And again, just broadening and expanding their exposure to business.
Yeah. And speaking of service projects, you also head up MATSRAC, service that's community-wide, kind of housed here, physically housed at Concordia, but kind of in a nutshell, what is MATSRAC about?
Sure. So MATSRAC is an opportunity for students engaged in our Lutheran schools, of which there are many in the Fort Wayne area. Basically, preschool through grade 8 are those who are identified by their principals or their admissions people at those individual schools of families who might need some extra help in putting together clothing that's required of their schools. So MATSRAC is grant-based. And through that grant money, I'm able to go out and shop for the clothing that's needed for all these various schools. And students are receiving clothing basically for just about a whole week of school.
As you can see, like our school is very blessed to have you in both the classroom and in the community, serving in ministry and education. One more thing we have here at Concordia, which you oversee and organize, is our Honors Academy. Would you describe that, please?
Sure. The Honors Academy is in its 9th year and originated pretty close to when I came here to Concordia Lutheran High School. Honors Academy is an organization here on campus for students who are really wanting to push their academics, to push and excel. Yeah. They are students who are very gifted intellectually. They like school, they enjoy the academic rigor and challenges, and they want more of it. They also tend to be very much leader-oriented students here on campus and are very involved in our extracurricular programs and sports and drama and you name it. It provides them an opportunity to be with a group of students who share that passion to further and do acts of excellence. But in addition to that, they are exposed to college opportunities. I take the Honors Academy students on college tours, recognizing that they are going to be blessed with many doors of opportunity coming close to graduation. They'll have lots of choices as to what it is that they can do, and that's a real blessing. But the opportunity for them to travel and see schools perhaps not in the immediate area is something that I do with them. They also perform community service. That is a part of Honors Academy. We want them to be giving to their community and recognizing that that's an important part of their citizenship. And in addition to that, they also do a senior project, which seems to be kind of the hailed prize at the end of the journey here, that seniors get to design something original of their own choosing. And they then do research on some component of that creation. And at the end of their senior year, usually late March, April, they make public presentation of this original creation.
What are some examples of some of the senior projects from past years?
Oh,
do you have a favorite or a couple stand out?
They're all my favorite. There's just so many different things that the kids do. I had a student actually design a shoe. He's currently in an engineering program at a favored Indiana school called Purdue. I had a student who actually composed a whole Lenten piece of music, wrote all the music, and then performed it, and it's breathtaking. So it just really varies. We've had so many fascinating, we've had students write books and pursue getting them copyrighted. So it's a joy each year, and it's a real surprise. We all look forward to those presentations.
Likewise, I enjoy the variety. Somebody, one of our students a few years ago lived on a farm, and part of their studies and part of their project had to do with some of the experiences from there. And kind of like, what a great diverse element of taking learning and personalizing the learning. One last thing, as far as Honors Academy, can you mention some of the universities that the students in Honors Academy have gone to visit as part of expanding and kind of get an understanding of really what's out there as far as opportunities?
Certainly. We tried to go to some of the Lutheran schools in the area. So we've been to Concordia, Ann Arbor. We've been to Concordia, Chicago, Concordia, Wisconsin. Valparaiso can hit the list too. The freshmen actually go to a state school each year, and I toggle that between our prized Purdue University and IU. I've had students to Northwestern, Notre Dame. We've made it out to the East Coast and done numerous tours of Carnegie Mellon, more Midwest, sorry. Case Western University. We've done Duke, we've done UNC. We've gone to the Tennessee area and Kentucky area, University of Kentucky. We've been to Rhodes, Swarthmore, out east again. It's just been a bevy. We've done University of Virginia, and it's just been a fabulous thing. And it really opens the students' eyes. It might not be necessarily their destination of where they'll go. However, it plants seeds of ideas of the different programming that is available at different colleges. And it helps them ask questions for the other schools they visit, perhaps with their families. One of the comments that I so enjoyed hearing when we were at UNC was one of our students said to me, "Well, Mrs. Erdis, I don't think that I want to go to UNC for my undergrad, but I've got it in my mind now for my master's degree.
Yeah, it's a terrific. These small little experiences plant seeds that we're not real sure how God's going to use them, but it's definitely going to be to further the kingdom as well as one's own experiences and gifts and talents.
Yeah, so true.
Thank you. As you can see, we have a lot to offer here at Concordia, both on campus and in our building, as well as crossing the sidewalk and getting engaged in the community and in our country at large. Thank you. Hello, with Crystal Castleman. Crystal teaches science classes, is the department leader for our science department, and is also our club coordinator, director for the Hosa. So we'll ask a couple of questions here about these. So, hello.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us today. What classes do you teach?
So it depends on the year,
Oh,
depends
yeah?
on the need,
Yeah.
but I teach anything from biology to advanced placement biology. I also on occasion will teach chemistry, and I teach 2 out of the, 3 actually, out of the 4 Project Lead the Way courses for biomedical science.
So here at Concordia, we have general biology and honors biology sometimes, as well as advanced placement or AP biology. Can you kind of give a little synopsis? What's similar or what's different about those 3 different?
So general biology would be a biology that every student that comes into Concordia has to take.
What grade level would they be?
That would be for freshmen or
Okay.
sophomores.
All right.
They can defer for their sophomore year, depending on their interest. If they're going to go into a science field, they would take that their freshman year. If they don't have a particular interest, they might take it their sophomore year. But students then who've taken general biology or general chemistry for that matter, and they want to learn more about those subjects, they can take the advanced placement version of those courses and learn more in depth about those topics and get college credit in the process.
Is like a freshman or sophomore taking AP classes, or is that more the juniors and seniors?
That would be for juniors and seniors.
Okay.
For AP biology, they definitely need to have both biology and chemistry in order to step into that AP class. And then for AP chemistry, of course, they need to have that chemistry background to help them in the college course.
So if I were a student really interested in sciences and pretty sure that's something I want to study at university or go into a career, what honors and what AP science classes do we offer?
So we offer one version of each one of the AP sciences. We offer AP biology, AP chemistry, AP environmental science, and then AP physics. There's different versions of that, but we teach the calculus base because that's the one that's for most students going into like an engineering type of a degree. That's what's going to be recognized at the college level.
And like year after year here at Concordia, we average about how many students going to schools like Purdue or Notre Dame to continue their science studies.
Like how many?
Yeah, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, some, a bunch.
That's a
little?
great question, and
Okay.
I'm not sure if I know the answer to that
right.
one. But we do have quite a few, and we do have several examples of students that are going to like an IU or Purdue. Especially Purdue, I could give you an example of a student who wants to pursue veterinary science and walked in and was directly admitted into the veterinary science program. They didn't have to go in contingently, what is it called? Conditionally?
Yeah,
They didn't have to.
contingency, yeah.
Yes, they didn't have to take that 1 year and then apply for veterinary school.
Okay. Can you give an example of one of our Concordia High School alumni that have gone on to the university to study sciences?
Well, for example, Bailey Hitzman, she took, when she was here at Concordia, she took a lot of those sciences. She took anatomy, AP biology. I believe she also took AP chemistry. And she went to Purdue to pursue veterinary science and was directly admitted into the veterinary science program as a freshman.
Here at Concordia, we also offer a program called Project Lead the Way. So what is Project Lead the Way? How does it complement, and how might it be a little different than some of our other science classes?
Well, they're a great option for students who might be considering going into a healthcare field, or we also have a program for engineering students. So we have both pathways. They are a great introduction to a variety of career opportunities in those 2 pathways. So for example, in biomedical science, they start off their freshman year and they take a class that covers emergency medicine or clinical care, forensic science, research science. So they get an idea of all the different possibilities that are out there. And then they can follow that up in subsequent years by learning about the human body and medical interventions. And that's a complement to their science classes because they're taking it alongside another science class. So they're really doubling up on their science as they go.
We have here at Concordia a number of clubs and activities that students can participate in. You are director of the Hosa Club.
I am, and
What
I
is
love
Hosa?
it. Hosa is great. It's really Hosa Future Healthcare Professionals, and it's a competitive club for students that have an interest in healthcare. And the highlight every year is going to the State Leadership Conference, where they will compete in anything from CPR first aid, behavioral health, medical reading. They compete against other students across the state. And while they're there, they can also attend educational symposiums, learn more about careers they might be interested in, as well as visit with different colleges from Indiana and learn about the programs that they offer.
Okay. So when we talk about health careers, what type of roles, what type of words would those mean as far as a future job or a future employment opportunity?
So we have several students who are interested in sports medicine, physical therapy, and they have competitions that they can compete in those. Students that are interested in nursing they might be interested in emergency medicine. We have a CPR first aid that many of them compete in. And then many of the students who have taken AP Psych here choose to go into behavioral health because they have an interest in mental health.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Castleman, for joining us and sharing a little bit more about our science programs that we have here at Concordia. And just the wide variety from just the general science area and building up those areas all the way through a career, college, and beyond college as far as future studies for them. So thank you. Thank you for your ministry and God's blessings.
Thank you.
With Lisa Sherrod. Lisa is the director of our study center, a very unique program that we have here at Concordia, which expands the learning opportunities and the learning support that students receive. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Can you kind of give a little introduction to what the study center really is and how it operates?
That's difficult. The study center I like to think of as kind of a home for the kids here at school. They have the four of us who work there, Becky Lynch, Sally Rish, Jen Walker, and I, they can come to us and we will help them with anything that that's going on at school.
Yeah. So the students come and do they have the homework? Has teachers or has the teacher kind of pre-planned that in one way or another? Or
when they come in for their study hall, they come in and they do their homework or study for tests. Sometimes we've talked to a teacher ahead of time and we know specifically some things they need to work on. Sometimes they're doing pretty well and we're a cheerleader and they're going on their own without us.
Is a student assigned to the study center or can they choose to go to the study center during the school day?
They're assigned to the study center during the school day by the counselors. It's just a part of their day. Sometimes students self-refer. They just have found out that we will help and they come in and a lot of times they change their schedule. Sometimes they just start coming after school.
Okay. Let's say I'm a student that if I'm in the classroom and it's time to take a test or a quiz and I just really need I find a classroom setting just too noisy or too distracting. Can I go to the study center? And if so, what would that look like?
Absolutely. We have a lot of students who come to the study center for their tests. Sometimes they're read to them. Sometimes they get extended time. Sometimes it's just quiet. So kind of whatever they need.
Okay. On an average day at any one time, how many students might be in the study center here at Concordia High School?
Because we have that nice new facility, we're able to spread out. So there probably about 15 to 20 are assigned, but they're spread out among 3 different areas, so it's not big. And then we also have the testers who come in.
If a student has a specialized learning program, how do your services or others in the study center help support that student?
First of all, we make sure each teacher knows about that individual's unique needs. And we work with the teachers on adjusting the assignments, tests, whatever we need to do. And sometimes, it's a matter of reteaching things. So we might teach it in a different way than the classroom teacher, draw a picture,
Okay.
do theatrics.
Yeah, that's so true. Using all of the dactyles of
Exactly.
of the human body that are possible. You've been involved with the study center here at Concordia for a number of years. What are some of your favorite success
That
stories?
was very good. Thank you. Didn't give a number. Some of my favorite success stories, I see a lot of my students who have graduated, and I see them on Facebook, or I see them coming in. But there's one former student who is highly successful in business, and she went off to Las Vegas, and it's wonderful to watch her. I have so many here in town. I have a photographer who actually volunteers here at Concordia sometimes. I have one who trains mammals, sea mammals. What she trained? Dolphins. She trains dolphins.
How exciting.
Yeah, and she always wanted to, but she was like, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Can you explain a little bit about the role that parents play with teachers, their child, student, and study center?
The
parent role.
The parents are definitely a big part of our team. A lot of times they will call us and say, hey, have you noticed this? And we will say, well, no, or yes, or let me work on it. But the whole team, the teachers, the parents, the students, the administrators, without any one piece, we'd be lost.
Concordia, we're very blessed by families and community members that just love the school. And sometimes they go so far as to say thank you in one way or another. We had one of those gifts this summer. Castleman family allowed us to renovate the study center.
Absolutely.
What did that renovation allow our program to now do?
We can definitely hold more students every hour, because before we were crowded in the one room. And I say one room, and I know we had two. We also had a testing room, but that was not conducive to having someone out there talking and teaching at the same time they're taking tests. So now we've got the 3 rooms. We can test. We have a lot of ability to move things around. We have large mobile whiteboards that we are using all the time.
Flexibility of space.
Yes.
It's a real blessing.
Yes, it's been great.
Yeah. And one of the exciting things I appreciate when I go into the study center, you see so many different activities that are happening simultaneously. As you were mentioning earlier, you might have one of the teachers with 2 or 3 students, working close by. You might have another group of 2 or 3 students working together, and definitely somebody just kind of doing some independent work with that as well.
Yes, absolutely. Because some kids work better independently with just someone just doing a peek and checking once in a while.
And our study center is open after school, so what happens after 3:15?
Yes, after 3:15, we allow anybody in the school building to come in and get extra tutoring. We're open until 5, Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As you can see here at Concordia, our academic programs and our academic support programs handle and provide abilities and opportunities for students of all ages and all grades in our school, irregardless if it's somebody that needs specialized help from time to time, all the way through somebody that's well on their way for a college preparatory program.
Wow, that was wonderful. I always love hearing from our teachers and the great ministry and blessing that they bring about to our students. So just a reminder, if you have any questions about our academics or anything that you've heard tonight, please just drop those into the Q&A, and we're here to answer those questions. I have Mr. Patrick Ferking with me tonight. He is our principal here at Concordia, and I'm just going to let him say a few words while you pop those questions in, and we'll make sure and get those answered.
Well, good evening, and thank you for joining us today for our take a look at the tremendous amount of exciting and breadth and diversity we have at Concordia in our academic program. I hope one of the things as you listen to Mrs. Sherrod and Ms. Castleman and Ms. Sherrod as they're talking, I hope you hear as well as feel the mission, the ministry, the purpose of which God has called them to Concordia to work with our students. The theme of relationships came through each and every one of those three teachers as far as the one-on-one, the stories that we hear, the support for students, both in the formal elements, whatever the class is, definitely a lot of examples of that in our study center and how that operates both during the school day and then as well as after. We're proud. We're very thankful and tremendously blessed by God of the 50 some teachers that we have at Concordia who day in and day out knock it out of the park, tremendous amount of work, tremendous amount of effort, and a tremendous amount of heart into the ministry of which they exercise. And so simply say thank you. We are blessed and we are honored to be working with such wonderful colleagues.
Our teachers are rock stars. I mean, one of the biggest things that you'll hear from our students is that it feels like a family, that the teachers are watching out for them and that they know when something's off. When you're coming to class and you're just not yourself, your teachers know you. And that's one of the biggest things about coming to Concordia is your student's not going to be a number. They're not going to get lost in the crowd. They're truly going to get known by our teachers and our staff and everyone at Concordia. All right, Pat, we had a question about what's the difference between honors classes and AP classes or advanced placement classes?
All right, so advanced placement and AP are the same thing. AP is just the nickname for that. An advanced placement AP class is, first of all, governed by the College Board. So that organization based in Princeton, New Jersey, has helped high schools through many, many decades prepare courses and provide instruction of courses for high school students that are at the introductory college level. So around Concordia, we have 19 different advanced placement courses that we offer. You heard some of them like AP Biology, AP Chemistry, AP Physics, which Crystal Castleman was talking about. We offer AP English Composition and AP English Literature, two different classes for within our Department of English. Social Studies has US and World History. Psychology is also included with that. We have AP classes in math and our fine arts programs with that as well. So the AP class, the teacher has a framework and a curriculum structure that they can work from. It's in cooperation and after training with the College Board that they are certified or have the okay and the approval to do that. For every AP class that we offer, we have our curriculum and we submit that to the College Board for approval as well. And again, that course needs to be at that college introductory level. Now, the piece as far as what happens after or near the end of the school year, all students in an AP class take the same exam as all other students who are taking the same AP course around the world. So AP Calculus, for example, in early May, our students are writing the same exam if an AP student is taking a class in Texas or California or overseas at some international school somewhere. That test is graded externally, and the student receives a score of 1 through 5. And then whatever university our high school student graduates and then matriculates to, the university then makes a decision to either award college credit for it or use that class to move the student ahead in their academics. So instead of taking like math 101, that student might just jump into a second year class or 2 or 3 classes down the road, depending upon how they go. So that's where that term advanced placement goes through. Honors classes. So if you look at the courses we offer here at Concordia, you'll see the word honors tied in a lot with our 9th and our 10th grade classes. So we have honors algebra, we have honors geometry, we have honors English 9, honors English 10. Those are the precursors to those AP classes a little bit further down the road. The honors classes that we offer are independent from the College Board. It is curriculum that we design. Oftentimes that curriculum of an honors class is preparing those students for that AP class in the same subject area down the road to their junior or senior year. We also offer a couple of classes around Concordia in partnership with Purdue University, Fort Wayne, across the street from us, and those are dual credit classes. And in a dual credit class, teachers work the curriculum or has written a curriculum in cooperation with the university. At the end of the year, at the end of the semester, the students are taking an exam that's approved by the university, and with successful completion of the exam, as well as with the course, the student can then also receive college credit for that. So really have a really nice blend of those things, of all three of those models. An honors class, mostly 9th and 10th grader, preparing students for the advanced placement classes, their junior and senior year, and then the dual credit classes, which are scattered really through all 4 years of our high school program.
Yeah, it's great. And counselors will work with students and really just figure out what the best path is for them. So maybe it's academic honors, maybe it's the core 40, maybe it's going AP and trying to get as many college credits as you can. Counselors work with you. And we do say, parents, this is a great opportunity for you. Coming to Concordia, taking AP and dual college credits, you can actually graduate with a semester of college credits under your belt just from coming to Concordia, which is great. Again, counselors work with students. They meet with them every year, going through as necessary. Students can change classes. It's a wonderful relationship that we have with our counselors. We have another question talking about, the question was about study abroad or abroad study opportunities. So kind of our equivalent would be educational travel. Can you talk a little bit about that and the trips that we've been able to do in the past and the ones coming
I'm so
up?
proud of our school and our school community. I am a firm believer and have lived a life, both individually as well as in ministry. I was a missionary in international schools for many years before coming here to Concordia, Fort Wayne. God changes us, and God places our feet in situations where he needs us, where he wants us for both today and tomorrow. I often use the term crossing the sidewalk around Concordia. I'm really proud of our school community. For over 37 years, Concordia has been in partnership with a high school in Germany. It's in Ludenstadt. With our German-American Partnership Program, nicknamed GAP. 37 years, our students and their students have forming relationships as they travel to each other's countries, travel to each other's schools, spend time in those schools. It's usually a 3 to a 4 week program during each of those exchanges. And we're really excited that with COVID kind of getting out of the way and us figuring out how to live with COVID and beyond with COVID, that we can resume that program. A few years ago, we started a similar exchange program with a school in Spain, and we look forward to getting that Spanish language exchange program up and rolling again. Both of those are kind of longer programs. We're looking at a 3 week, 4 week exchange when those programs occur. We also offer a lot of week to 10 day, like 7 to 10 day travel opportunities led by our teachers in the school. Over the last few years, we've had a few programs that have taken a strong look and a strong study of World War II. So a few years ago, we were at Normandy Beach for the 75th anniversary of the landing. And that group did more than just spend time at Normandy. They also spent a few extra days traveling around France, as well as in Germany, as well as in England. So taking a look at World War II, the events that happened, the significance, both the strategy of what's happening as far as the history at that moment in time, as well as the process of peace since then. This past summer, Ms. Castleman, who talked a little bit earlier about our science department, she led a science history trip to Scotland and England, and kind of ironically built around the study of viruses and some of the history of scientific development with that. A few years ago, Ms. Castleman, one of our other teachers, led an ecology trip to Costa Rica, and they're in process right now of putting together a really neat marine biology study to Belize in a few years. So it's just exciting about expanding the world, expanding the understanding God's beautiful creation from a variety of different standpoints, from a science, from a geographical, most importantly, from a person's spiritual component. As we get to learn that God has placed numerous people, cultures around our world, that we can bless them and they can bless us with them.
They're great trips. And one of the benefits, so that as parents, you're able to go with your student if you want to. You can send them off on their own. That's fine too. We have great chaperones, but you're able to accompany your student and see these amazing places that we're able to take our students on for these trips. It really is a great time.
And tied in with that, Ashley, I want to jump in. I think one of the other neat things about Concordia, we got a long history with our fine arts program, particularly our band and our choir. For decades, Concordia's band and their choir during the course of the school year, engaged on a choir tour or a band tour. And some of those events might be 3 days to 7 days. Doesn't sound like a long period of time, but they are life-forming experiences for our students, as well as for the individuals that hear our students perform in a concert, be it a church or a parade or some other sort of a concert hall that they provide for those as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of teachers that will take that immersive experience too, whether bringing in somebody to speak in their class. I know that Chris Murphy does this a lot with his education professions class, where he's bringing in teachers and administrators and principals and just telling them to what it's like to be in the world of education, and other teachers that are doing even local field trips to learn just more about what their class is about. So really, teachers are just taking it to the next level to make sure that the students are learning in new and creative ways.
For a school this size at Concordia, we've ranged anywhere from 600 to 800 students through most years. The breadth and the variety of opportunities, both inside and outside of the building, that Concordia provides is just absolutely outstanding. And I think that has to do so much, as well as a reflection of the purpose of the ministry and the calling that God has placed upon the people of the school community. So although a student might be with us for 4 years, as far as going through math class or English class or history class, we know and we see year after year, decade after decade, God's blessings and endurance through these experiences of what Concordia is about.
Are there any aerospace or NASA related classes? I would say probably those. I know that Miss Wilkinson has tried to tie that a little bit into her classes. If you don't, I don't even know if you know this about her, Pat. She's a little bit of a NASA buff.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that she loves astronomy, and I've talked to her about it a few times. So I know that's one of the classes. So do you want to talk a little bit about what we have in physics?
Yeah, so the physics has both kind of the mechanical engineering physics, for a student that would be interested in going into an electrical engineering or a mechanical engineering or a civil engineering sort of role. We also have a solid background for students that would be interested in going into astrophysics, space science, rocketry type of components along those areas with that as well. There's some neat components in that Project Lead the Way program. Crystal was kind of referencing that a little bit, but that also kind of scratches the surface a little bit with those.
Yeah. Well, we're so glad that you all joined us tonight. We hope that you can join us next week on October 18th. We will have our affordability and admissions webinar. This is a key one for parents of 8th graders, but really anyone can tune in. But this is a time where we'll go through what it means to get scholarships at Concordia and how we make Concordia affordable. We'll go through the application process and what that means. So we're really looking forward to having you for our webinar. And we hope that you have a good night and hope to see you soon at Concordia.